Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Aliza Kim and welcome to the very first episode of Finding Him. Now this is a series about how I reverted to Islam, and also I'll be sharing about all the different lessons that I learned along the way in the years that, I was a new Muslim. Actually, I'm still a new Muslim. I'm 3 years old, but let me tell you about my story. Well, I was born in Enid, Oklahoma, in the U.S., if you can't tell from my accent. And, when I got a little bit older, I did a master's degree, which led me actually to taking steps to come back to Asia. Okay, so when I moved to Asia, I actually moved to Thailand first. That's my heritage. My parents are from Thailand. So I was working there, and then, as I said, I decided to get into the entertainment line. And from the modeling and the TV shows and all that, the TV series, that's how I jumped over to Malaysia, where I am right now. I came here to shoot a big production TV commercial, and I've been here ever since. I was doing well with my television work, with my commercial work, but I felt different. There was an emptiness inside that I felt, and usually what I would normally do, I would go back to a church or I would ground myself in Christianity because that's what I was. So I started to really think more about religion and how it plays in my life and whether it was the right way to give me peace or not. At a point where I felt maybe there's something more, and I started on my journey of finding and, self-realization and soul-searching. And, of course, as you can tell, that journey led me quickly to Islam. Along my journey, I decided to buy a whole stack of books. Again, I was Christian, so I wanted to ground myself in my religion at that time. So I bought, books on a short history of Christianity. I bought books on Pauline theory, a whole bunch of different books, and I just read it one by one. The first one that I started with was actually a book on comparative religions. Now I was on a search for God, a true search for God. Because in my head I was like, I'm empty. I know that God is the answer, so I want to make Him pleased with me. So I was on the search for what is the true church? How do I worship God in the best way that I can, in the true way? So when I started reading about comparative religions, again, it was more of a refresher that, oh yeah, the Bible was actually put together in this way. And then questions started to come up. Do I believe that the Bible should be put together by men? Do I believe that even though men wrote these chapters, hundreds of years after Jesus Christ had already passed away or gone back to heaven at that time, do I still believe in that? Now there's a whole bunch of questions in my head that I don't have answers to. And at that time is also the time when I had a Muslim friend, and it was one of my only Muslim friends that I felt practiced the religion. I did have other Muslim friends in Malaysia who I had worked with on production and everything, but I felt like they didn't practice, so there was no point in me trying to learn what they were all about also, because it was just the same. But actually this person did speak to me a little bit about religion, and one thing that I really admired about them is that they kept up with their prayers. So I became first attracted to Islam through this person because of their prayers. So then that made me reflect. I was like, I think I'm a pretty good Christian girl. How come I don't pray 5 times a day? How come if I don't pray, nothing happens? It's not sinful or anything. I can forget for 2 months and it's fine. So I felt like, okay, my Muslim friend can pray 5 times a day. When they pray, I pray too, but I pray in my own way. And that went on for a little while until my Muslim friend was like, Aliza, I know that you're on this journey of trying to find the truth for yourself about God. Have you ever considered learning about Islam? Because, Islam and Christianity and Judaism, they're from the same roots. And I was like, oh, really now? I didn't know, but supposedly what they were telling me is that, well, now I know that it's the truth, is that these 3 religions come from the Abrahamic faiths. That's what they're called. They have the same roots from Abraham. So I was like, okay, if I'm being honest to myself and I'm doing an honest research, I have to look into Islam for clues. So I took it upon myself as an academic exercise. I basically said, okay, I'm going to go and learn about Islam. Take me to a class. They had a class that they were going to, which was in English, alhamdulillah. So it was no problem for me learning things. And you know, when I went, there were all these words that I didn't understand. But of course, now I know it's the Arabic word for the same English words that I knew. For example, Abraham. In Arabic, it's Ibrahim. So I was like, who is this? Who's this Ibrahim? But the story sounds really familiar, right? So I thought, okay, if I need to learn about this, and if I really want to understand, I need to learn in my head, because I thought I can't look at translations. I have to learn all the old languages. So that would be Arabic, Aramaic, Hebrew, Orthodox Greek. In my head, I actually thought I'm going to go in and I'm going to learn all these languages and I'm going to be set. I don't have to depend on all these writers. I'm going to do it myself and get the truth. Of course, that didn't happen. I think God, Allah, put that in my path. It was like, don't be silly little girl. Let me give you this book, okay? So one of the first books that I got from this learning center was amazing. It was this little pamphlet like that, but it did all the work for me. It compared English, Arabic, Aramaic, so all those old languages were compared for me. I was like, wow! It's like my prayer was answered, right? So I was learning these things, and it was really interesting to me. I really felt like whatever books came my way, Allah put in exact order for me to break whatever mindset I had before and really build on that foundation. Whatever I learned, the next pamphlet that was given to me, amazing, it built on that. And it just built and it built and it built until I realized for myself that since a Muslim is someone who just submits themselves to the will of Allah, to God, I feel like I was Muslim my whole life. One day, I actually asked a Muslim lady if she would mind me following her around, because I had no idea what a Muslim's life was like, if I can actually, get up and pray and things. So I actually, wanted to ask this lady, can I go to your house at 5 a.m. and stalk you for a whole day? Because I need to know, how do you organize yourself? So that was a day. I went to the learning center. So this was a volunteer there. I went there for the class, and then I was going to go out and see this woman when the teacher actually asked me, so Aliza, do you have any questions? I didn't have questions, but since he was nice enough to ask, I was like, oh, never mind, I'll just chat with him. And, I spoke to him, and he said the most amazing, hurtful things. Hurtful, why? Because it was as though, Allah put those words into his mouth, and he said them in such a way that hurt my heart and made me think so much about everything that I had learned. And because of that, I took my shahada that day. But exactly what was going through my mind, how I came to the decision to say yes to him, that's in the next episode. So stay tuned. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode. Now, this isn't what series is actually about. I'm just introducing myself now, right? I actually want to share with you so many things, about my what I learned first, what I learned next. So this is really supposed to be a series about me sharing what I've learned with you. But first, of course, we have to get to know each other. And part of getting to know each other is, number one, if you like this episode, please like it and leave me a comment. Or if you want to get in touch with me, you can go to my Facebook, which is Facebook.com/official Aliza Kim. Also, you can, subscribe to this channel, which is here, Dop's channel. And also, I'm still not quite done introducing myself. I still want to tell you about my shahada. So if you want to watch that next episode is right here. So I'll see you in the next episode.